Hello, and welcome to Sponge Stories, the podcast for face painters by face painters. I'm Siobhan, the face behind Theatrics Faces, and I'm on a mission to lift the lid on what it really takes to build a face painting business, the good, the messy, and everything in between. Each episode, I'll be chatting to artists, industry experts, and real working face painters about the things that we don't always talk about. Pricing struggles, burnout, confidence, boundaries, growth, and how to actually make this job work for your life. So whether you're painting your first full face or juggling a fully booked diary this year, you're in the right place. Let's get straight into today's episode. Hello, so today I am joined by Georgiana from Lizzieland Face Painting. She is the queen of one-stroke butterflies, a TikTok titan.
Thank you.
And a demo extraordinaire, because I've seen that you're demoing everywhere at the moment. It keeps popping up on all of my feeds. So we're going to talk today about some of the real stuff behind the scenes of face painting. Georgiana, welcome to the podcast.
Thank you so much for having me.
So if we just jump in right at the beginning, I'd love to know some more about you and how you first got started into face painting.
It was so long time ago. I have to go back in Romania. That's where I started.
Wow.
I'm from Romania. So I had a friend that was a clown. I had no idea about face painting. I've never had my face painted when I was a child, which is very sad, isn't it? And when I was studying in Bucharest, nothing to do with art, a friend of mine that was a clown called Marcelino needed some help with face painting. He was doing entertainment, balloons and everything, but he needed help with face painting. And I said, what? What is that, face painting? And he said, it's very easy. Look, you just take a sponge and you do a butterfly like this. That's why butterflies are so important to me. That was my first design that I've learned in a very easy way. I mean, you can imagine just some pink and an outline with white, and that was it. And he said, done, you're ready. I said, that's it, a butterfly? And are you sure I'm going to be safe with that? Yes. And I went to my first event with him, and children started to ask for a tiger, a car, a dog. And I was looking at him, Marcelino, this is not what you taught me. I thought I can do a butterfly and that's it. No, I had to improvise. And those first designs are, I would not say terrible, but you can see that I had no idea about blending, no idea about line work. I had some very basic products like Snazaru or Grimace. That's what we had in Romania. Craft brushes, they were not helping me at all, but I had that joy. And when I saw that first mirror moment, that's when the magic started for me. I thought, okay, Georgiana, you have to look for more. Is there anything more about face painting? Where can I start? Where can I find? Nothing in Romania. It was zero in Romania. That's all we had. And I started to search, and all the information I got was from UK, where I am now. Yeah, and I was that face painter that was looking at the picture and trying to understand what steps were made there to go to this result. So I was deconstructing, if that's a word, trying to see what layer, was used, what stroke to get to this result. I was amazed by some great artists. Face painting was an industry already back 16 years ago when I started. There were conventions, but I had no idea, and I was not ready. I mean, even if I knew about them, I was not ready to invest. I was not ready to grow that much. So I was just trying my best to see what I can do. I didn't know I have talent. So for me, it was work. It was work. And I said, I have to go from A to B in a way. I have to work it out. And I've discovered that I do have some talent there, that if I look at the picture and I can reproduce it, if I can create that design, that means I have talent. Yeah. So I have those weird tigers in the beginning where you can see no blending, no anything, and those really good characters because I was just following everything, a picture. So it was like a newbie, but whoa, this looks professional. So that made me, search for more and practice more, because that's my story. That's how I did it. So I started to invest.
How soon did you think, I'd quite like to do this as a job?
Well, it was bringing money. So I felt like all the events were so nice. You go to lovely events, right? Everything is colorful. You're not working like, with a boss in your head. It's not a stressful job, is it? You work with children. And I said, I could do this for a living. I mean, doing something really nice, having fun, because I was having fun at every event. I felt like I'm doing a party. Sometimes you feel like a superstar when you're invited to face paint. I don't know you, but I
Yes.
dress up really nicely, like I have a concert.
Well,
Sometimes I
everybody
just
treats
bring
all the
all those.
kids treat you like a celebrity, don't they? They think
Yeah,
you're
you
so
are.
cool.
You are a celebrity. Yeah. If they see you on TikTok as well, oh, yeah, that adds up. Yeah. So I said, well, this is fun. I could do this for a living. But I didn't know I would take it,
Mm,
this serious. This serious. I mean, wow, after 16 years, still doing it and at a different level. Yeah. But I was impressed about everything about the industry from abroad. And I started to create a character called Lizzie, because my brand is called Lizzieland. So I started to create this character called Lizzie, a clown. I had a lovely costume, and I was going to events, also helping my friend, but also taking some private ones as well. So I was really busy doing it, and my business started to grow. After one event, there was no marketing involved. So after one event, I was getting another one. I was getting booked from that event, from parents that were there. So it was word of mouth. Word of mouth was my my marketing, let's say. So I got very popular in Romania and Bucharest. I was traveling everywhere. I loved it. Every weekend to be booked, it's something impressive. And during the week, I was working at the children's playground. So I was still in that area, still working with children, with parties, with parents, and it helped me a lot
mm,
to connect with all this industry that came after. And I stopped only when after I got married and I had my little girl. She's 9 now, but when she was 2 months old, I stopped. Then I said, you know what? Let's try and go in the UK. Let's move. Let's see what
mm.
what can happen. If it's not okay, I can always come back. I have my
Yeah.
talent. Now I've realized that I can do this face painting, and people will accept me back. They were so upset when I said I'm leaving the country. Like, oh, who's gonna come to our party? Oh no. I was doing all sorts, from face painting to painting on t-shirts. Everything was about
Mm.
art that I didn't know I could do. As a child, I had no idea I'm talented. So we moved to the UK with a backpack, with a child in my arms, and with my talent. That was everything I had. And I had to start from zero.
Was it was it the face painting, sort of industry in the UK that was that a draw for you then?
It was, but it was like a secret, feeling inside that, oh, I want to go there and maybe dare to do what I love. Because
Mm,
when you're in your own country and you think, oh, I want to go and move there, that's a big dream to actually do what you like. Because people often come and they struggle, they change, they get a job. It's not easy. It's not easy to do what you
mm,
love. First you have to do those jobs. And I thought, okay, that's a big dream of mine. But it needs actions, like every dreams now. And I tell that to my students now. Every dream needs action. Otherwise it will stay just a dream. So I moved to the UK. Of course, it was hard. The weather was different. People, my English that I thought I knew, it was so different. But it was okay. I adapted very well, I can say. But I had that barrier, that language barrier. I was afraid to talk. I was afraid to book events, to talk to a client. It was easier for me to be subcontracted, for
mm.
somebody else to do that work. And I just show up like a flower with all my paints in my backpack. It was so easy for me. So I'm very grateful that I had the courage to post some designs, to post on Facebook so people can see me, that I can do this. I'm new. I'm from Romania. I don't know much about being a professional face painter. I thought I am a professional face painter back in Romania, but I had no idea about hygiene. I was using one sponge for all the children from the party. That was a big thing. So I found out that you need one sponge per child. Wow. Like, okay, went to Tesco, bought those sponges that you have to cut, because it was my first event, first big event, and you
Mm.
can't spend too much when you're starting and you don't have the money. It's very hard.
Uh-huh.
So I had my first setup, and it's really nice to talk about this. It was an Argos table, a camping table, the cheapest one. I think it was £40, but we felt heavy. That
Yeah.
that investment was heavy, but I had no cover on it. My paints were in a craft box. I just opened it. Boop. Snazaru. My craft brushes. And first event was Smith's Toys Superstore. Most of
Wow,
you know
that's
it,
a big
from the
event.
UK. they needed face painters from all over the UK. So that was a chance for me to actually get in, even if I was just starting. But from that first event, where people were already professional with their setups, with their one stroke. I was like, what was that? One stroke. Oh, wow. I used to cut my paints and put them together, just two of them
Mm,
in a circle to get that butterfly, to have a lighter color and a darker color. But wow, those one strokes looked amazing. And I was just peeking and looking and felt a little bit ashamed to open that craft box. But the child in front of me received the design. It was a cat. Asked for a cat, it was a cat. The mirror moment was still there, no matter what I was using. And those face painters that were there, they were encouraging me and they said, if you can do this with what you have now, imagine what you'll do if you get the right paints. So that first job got me the paints to actually understand how a good paint works, how vibrant can be, how one stroke can help me with speed at events. So I was just exploring, but don't think that I was booked. I was having 2 events per month, but for me it was massive, because I could do
mm,
what I love, and my daughter was still small, so I wasn't working full time. But I was getting ready for every party. Honestly, I was so stressed, thinking about what if they say something and I don't know how to answer, and, overthinking things that will never happen actually. So I just had to show up, connect with my clients, engage with children, smile, give them my energy because that's what's all about,
mm,
and just transform them in what they like. And if I don't know how to do something, I always have a phone and I can just Google it and find it. And I know I have this superpower of creating anything I see. So that helped me a lot with my first jobs. When you're starting and you don't know how to do a Pikachu and you're panicking, you just take that phone, go on Pinterest and just Google,
yeah.
search Pikachu face painting. So somebody already made that for you. A placement, a good placement, maybe an easy way to do it. So it's easy to recreate it. And it's okay to recreate it. That's why those people were posting them.
Mm,
But you feel like, oh, you're stealing. You're not enough. That's the feeling you get when you're just starting. But it's okay. It's okay. You just have to practice. Painting a stitch design can be so hard at the beginning because you can't remember all those details. And then you paint it another time and a third time and a fourth time, and then you'll see that, whoops, I don't need that picture anymore. So it's a lot of practice and muscle memory. I know you hear it everywhere, but it is actually reality. That's why you need just time to practice. So I got my confidence in time, but I wish I had more events, to work more, to practice more. What helped me in the beginning was collaborating. And if any new face painter is watching this, don't compete, collaborate. Because you have so many face painters in your area, and that can feel overwhelming. You might think, what am I going to do? They're already there. These face painters have these events. Why would I start? What chances do I have? But it's all about you. So go and connect with them. You might be lucky to have great face painters in your area that might ask you to come and work with them. You might go to big festivals. You might just share a gazebo, show up to a massive event. You learn from each other so, so, so much. We were 6 face painters in a little gazebo. We were just there, but we were helping each other. I was always that face painter that was painting the characters, like I said, and I could hear, "We want this. Go to Georgiana." And we had a good one that was doing the crowns and the princesses or like flowers. I was running away from roses. Go to this one. So it was nice to have somebody, there to
mm.
to, to save you in that moment when you think, oh no, I don't know what to do. I'm lucky that in this area we have many face painters. So that helped me so much to grow and to get that speed and get some events because nobody knew I can do face painting.
Mm.
I was just new in the area.
Would you say that's been your biggest challenge for you to overcome would be the language barrier?
It was funny. Sometimes the girls were talking to me and I was just saying, yes. you know, it was so weird because they knew it was like that moment, that silence moment when I didn't come with something extra. And it felt so weird because I'm a bubbly person. I mean, if I talk in my language, I'm very chatty and
Well, even
I make
speaking
people
to you
laugh.
now, I'm thinking, honestly, it seems impossible that you wouldn't. be like
Oh
this?
no, it was so weird because I couldn't find my words. I don't think that was the biggest struggle. I was not that confident, not just it was a barrier, but it was not my biggest challenge. I had to work more with me, with myself,
Mm.
because when you trust yourself more, that's when your business can actually grow. So I had to go back to myself and to see that nobody will do the work for me. I have to do the work. I have to trust myself in everything and stop waiting for that external validation from everybody. But when you see your worth, everything changes. You're not waiting for anything anymore. You're just doing your thing.
How would you say that you invested in yourself? Did you do training?
I've done that earlier because back in Romania, I was thinking, spending money on a class. Wow,
Mm,
I don't need that. I'm good. I can do this. I can do this by myself. I'm not investing. But then I realized, wow, it's such a huge difference because we are always learning. I mean, even now I'm investing in so many classes. It was a huge thing to actually start paying for knowledge, because
mm,
people are now sharing their knowledge, their experience, everything they've learned, and they're sharing them with you. And it's normal for you to pay for that time and for experience and everything. When that clicked, and I realized that I don't have to chase just freebies and everything that is just free everywhere. That that was the moment that actually helped my business because I've realized that my inquiries for free events for exposure kind of stopped.
mm.
So when I started to pay, clients started to pay me. It was a huge click there and very important for me. So yes, I've started to invest. My biggest investment was International Face Painting School, the elite class. So I said I want to be an expert. Do you need it? Do you need that validation? Maybe not. Like I said, you don't need external validation. It was interesting to take that class. I felt like the classes, I knew how to do many of the things from there, but you can still learn. You can still learn from
Mm.
everybody. I learned from different artists. We're so unique, actually. Even if we teach the same, unicorn, there's something from that artist that you can get. Always. Just like you with the podcast now, you can
Mm.
learn something from
Oh, I
every
love it.
person.
I love talking to other
Yeah.
face painters because everybody's just got so much knowledge and different
Exactly, and the
approaches.
experience. Yeah, and also what was important for me was to invest in the business side. So I'm now studying level 6 business management. It helped me so much because talent is not enough. I always say that it's not enough. You need, let's say, 10% talent, but you need 90% work.
So, would you say that doing the business management course and studying business management has helped you to keep your business sustainable for the long term and keep it as a successful business?
I think so. Yeah, it helped me to stay grounded, in the
Mm.
business area. Because also this industry can feel very playful. You think you are having a side hustle, the way you see your business is very important. Family might think you're just playing with some colors. Going to that class, doing business management made me realize that this will pay my bills. I want this business to actually pay for my holiday. I want to take my family on holiday. I want to help my family. I want to buy all the things I want. I want to live a nice life. I want to
Mm.
travel. So that moment I realized, okay, I have to take it seriously. So if I stop seeing it as a hobby, if I start investing, that's why I have this little space. This is a room in my house. So it's like an office. That's important. So when I realized that, it changed everything from pricing, from how I show up on social media, for how often I actually do it, how serious I am. I'm still working and I'm still struggling with boundaries. I have to say, I still reply at 1 a.m. sometimes because this is me, but I will work on that area,
Mm.
to have some clear boundaries.
I think any self employed or business owner struggles with that balance, stopping
Mhm.
because you don't have office hours. And
Yeah.
because you are reliant purely on your own bookings and answering clients, it's really hard to say, well, it's 5 p.m., I've finished for the day. Well, of course, we all do it.
Yeah.
I reply at 11 o'clock at night because I'm like, well, I know that's done now. I know that's done. I don't need to worry about that anymore.
Or you might miss that event if you don't
Yeah.
reply, somebody else will. It
Exactly.
is
So
what
you've
it
got to
is.
be in quick because you're sort of
it's hard to make sure you've got that guaranteed income when you're
Mhm.
self-employed. Um, I think you're right. I think we're all struggling with
Mhm.
putting boundaries in place and sticking to them.
Yes,
But
work in progress.
yeah, definitely, definitely. I think across the board. I was going to say, I really liked what you said about it being quite a playful industry because I think that hits the nail on the head so well because it is so fun. It's a very playful industry. It's so fun. It's very creative, even at home when you're practicing. I found it quite an adjustment to make sure that I was looking at every event from a business point of view and from a business mindset and making sure that I'm not wasting money on loads and
Yes.
loads and loads of pallets and loads of unnecessary expenses at the outset until I'm bringing money in to justify that and
Yes.
making sure I've
Yes.
got my profit margins and my overheads and is that worth my time and working out how much I want to be being paid an hour
Mhm.
and whether sitting outside at, let's say, a dog show or something for 5 hours and painting 10 faces. Okay, I learned the hard way that that wasn't worth my time because
Exactly. That's
I couldn't take any other bookings during that time. I really like the idea that it is a playful industry. So, and because I think as well, everybody I've spoken to, we all love what we do. So
mhm.
it's hard to say no to events that maybe aren't going to be as profitable because I'm like, "But I like painting faces. And I have to
I want to
really
be there.
say, yeah, I want to be there. And I have to say, okay, that's not necessarily worth my time. I've got to remember this is a business as well. Like you said, it's differentiating between it being just a fun little hobby and no, I
Mhm.
want this to earn me money. I want this to pay for family holidays. I want this to be a sustainable business venture.
That was also a struggle, one of the struggles, because you were asking and you mentioned it now. Saying no, so hard to say no. And all you've said, we've learned to trial and error those events that are not worth it. You have to show up to that event, actually, say yes to it. See that it's not for you, see what public comes there, and then the next one you're not burning yourself. Saying no was the hardest part for me, but it helped me to grow this business. Saying no, not just to an event, saying no to people, to collaborations, being so intuitive and feeling red flags, feeling that this is not for my business, this doesn't align with my values. It's so important to stay true to yourself because even if it's a huge opportunity, it might just not be for you. And I'm still a busy face painter, so I'm still out there on the field after so many years, but I'm more of a festival face painter. So I have to admit, whenever I go to a party, I hear all that noise and I realize I don't like it. I don't like it that much because I've tested how it is to go at a festival
Mm,
and I've done it for so many years and I love those busy events. And parties are nice and they give you the income as well. And it's nice because they're local and people know you. I've been in the last 3 weekends to the same group. It's so funny because they see me like, oh, hi, I'm back. And they ask me, are you going to go there? Are you going to be at that party? So Sheffield, it's quite small for me right now.
mm,
They know me, but I still feel that I am a festival face painter. That's where you'll see me, with all my vibe and all my energy. I love that kind of event, where I paint and people actually pay. I know pay per face can be a debate, but I've learned to price myself, because we can talk about pricing. It's so important when you know your value, when you know what you're bringing. I bring speed as well, but not that kind of rush, a rush design. Speed with some amazing designs that, okay, they take 2 minutes, but they look impressive. They look amazing and they cover a lot of the face. So people know me now for this and they pay me. I know my worth and charging it for it, it's so important. That's why I don't run away from paper face event. I know which ones are good. I know which ones are not. So I know
mm,
how to say no to those ones. But this has helped me, to keep this business going. Charging more than that general £5. I've started to charge £8 and then charging £10 was so funny. And I can tell you a story at the festival where I've charged for the first time £10 because you get that imposter syndrome is there.
mm.
It's hitting. And I was with my husband. He comes with me at the events. He's helping me with everything. And I was like, £10, £10. I was looking at him. Shall I drop it to 8? That's the question you're getting all the time. Shall I drop it? Oh no, it's not gonna work. Shall I drop my price? I said, no, leave it. It's okay. You're worth £10. Okay. And then that first client comes with 3 children. Three. And I was like, how do I charge 30? It's so hard. And I was panicking. I was painting. I did my job there. And then the lady, when I turned back, to say that amount, I was thinking just to type it and say, "Oh, this is it," the easy way. And that lady was holding hair as well, festival hair. We sell them, we upsell things to make some money at the event. And she was holding hair. So she was not bothered about my £10. She actually paid 60. And I remember how I did. It's okay. If I've started like this, then I will keep it. So those festivals, that's my price, £10.
Yeah.
Is I've heard face painters saying, no, it needs to be affordable. What if they have 3 children? It needs to be £5. I just can't go back to £5 after all I've invested, after
Mm.
all my practice, after all my, all the money I've invested in products, in testing them, in getting better, in staying fresh, in adapting to every trend that is out there. I'm always there with fresh designs, always there to help them to get what they want. No matter how new it is, I'll just adapt it and I'll do it in no time. So I won't charge less, and nobody can tell me to charge less. I can hear and I can hear your opinion, if it's different, I accept it, but it doesn't have anything to do with me.
Well, I think with any business, there are always going to be different price points for different products,
Mhm.
and you just have to know your customer. So I have 3 children. We were on holiday a couple of years ago, down the south of the UK.
Mhm.
And they were doing face painting there. And I've always loved face painting. I've loved painting my kids' faces. This was about a year before I decided to start my business. And I saw that it did face painting. And I said to the kids, I was like, oh, yeah, let's go get your faces painted. And my husband, I think, was grabbing us a coffee. So I took them into the little booth, queued up, and my heart dropped a little bit when I saw that they were charging £16 a face.
Wow.
But at this
Wowie.
point, yeah, but by this point, I was in the queue and I'd already told my
With
children that they
three
could have it,
three
and we were on holiday. And so we get there, the first one's having theirs done. My husband pops up next to me and I'm like, yeah, you need to pay the lady. You need to pay the lady.
it's £50.
Yeah, well, exactly. And he was like, Jesus Christ. But I still paid it because I was like, well, I've already said yes now. I was excited about it. And to be fair, it was very good. I mean, as a professional now, was it £16? Probably not per face. But the point was, we were on holiday. So I was in that mindset of I wanted them to have it done. We were on holiday. It was
Mhm.
coming out of like holiday money sort of thing. So I was very much like, that's your treat for the day. So don't come banging on about ice creams a bit later or whatever. That's the treat for tomorrow. But when you go to a festival or something, you've often got in your head as a parent that things are going to cost money. And
Exactly. That's what I've learned during the years doing festivals. So if somebody comes to they expect to spend money on food, they expect to spend money on drinks, more money on drinks, more money on
mm,
drinks in the UK, let's say. But of course, the children are with them. So yeah, they will pay for entertainment, which is all right. So we should trust ourselves a little bit more.
yeah,
But also it's okay to, if you can in your area, or I don't know, it depends on the type of the event. But I also understand face painters that want to be booked per hour. I tried it as well. It worked sometimes, it hasn't many times. It's a debate here with being charged per hour and being classed as an entertainer. I know it's a sensitive subject, and it's okay if you feel like, if you're scared of doing paper face, actually, because you might be scared that you're not earning your money, right? It's like you're gambling. You don't know if you're bringing money home. It's okay. I do paper face with events that I actually know. So these are repeated clients that book me every single year. I tour the UK with them. So that's why I'm so confident in charging and in doing paper face. I need to say this for people that are watching, and they might think, oh, it's okay to do paper face with every event and pay ridiculous fees to attend some really low
Mm.
events. No, I don't do that. I go where I know my public, where I know the organizer very well. So this is a huge difference. And it's a great opportunity for me because I've done this for many years. And it's a skill to keep your clients. Let them book you again next year. It's so, so, so important. But I'm not gambling here. I know exactly what I'm doing when I choose paper face. I also love to be booked per hour. It's really nice. I've done a flower festival last year. I've been booked per hour for 4 days. It was free face painting to the public, which is great. But also, when you have paper face, you're kind of selecting your customers. You won't have any argument in the queue. That happens a lot at public event. Free face
Mm.
painting, they're very entitled. In that moment when they're not paying for something, that's when they're entitled for everything and
Yeah.
they will say that they've been waiting in the queue for so long. When they pay, they're so so chill and they're relaxed and they're happy to be there. I don't know. This is my experience, of
Yeah.
course, and it's in my area. It might not apply to everybody.
I think as well that it's worth remembering that there needs to be people that enjoy doing different events. We can't
Hmm.
all go for the paid birthday parties.
Yeah.
We can't all turn up at the festivals. Some face painters love a birthday party. That's all they want to do.
Hmm.
Other face painters love a festival. That's all they want to do. We have to remember that we all like doing different things and that there's a place for everybody. There's no right way or wrong way.
What you said there, say it again. There's no
Think
right
it's
or wrong.
important to remember that we don't all have to be paid per hour. If someone else prefers to be
Hmm.
paid per face because that works better for them and their business, that's okay. No one's forcing you to do
Exactly.
it,
Yes.
but we all
Yes.
got to do
Yes,
what's right for
exactly.
us. And I think sometimes we were chatting earlier about the sort of the pitfalls of social media and the negativity. And
Hmm.
I think sometimes we as an industry forget that it's all okay for us to run our businesses in our own way. It
Exactly.
doesn't necessarily have to be at a detriment to others. And we can all still support each other and be kind.
Can be quite vocal on social media. That's why I had to mention this paper face and paid per hour thing. Because being a new face painter, you might feel bad, for doing paper face events, and it's not the case. Do what feels right for you. As I said, I'm very intuitive and I feel actually what's okay for me and what's not okay. Or I might, do some trial and errors. Still, we're still doing some errors. It is normal, but yeah, do what you feel, and it's okay.
There's so many sort of divisive topics in the face painting industry. I'm thinking of doing every season of Sponge Stories. So hopefully there'll be about 8 to 10 episodes per season. And
Mhm.
each season there will be one special episode where I invite on two guests to kindly and respectfully discuss controversial topic. So
Wow.
I think the word debate is sometimes seen too negatively. It's not about
Hmm.
having an argument or who's right or wrong. It's just let's hear an argument being paper face. Is it the best
Hmm.
thing or is it paid per hour? And let's just hear two people that feel differently explain from both points of view. And then as an audience, we can make up our own minds. And it's not about saying
Yeah,
that one
exactly.
way is right and wrong. It's just that these are two different ways of thinking. And another topic we were talking about is the training courses. And I mean,
Hmm.
there's so many price, how much we should be charging per hour. There's all sorts, isn't there? And
Yeah,
I
yeah,
just thought
yeah.
it'd be good if we can remember that we can all have a different opinion
Yes.
and we can, like, it's okay to not have an opinion on something as well. Cause sometimes I like to sit on
Yeah,
the fence about things. I don't
yeah, yeah.
feel
That's fine.
particularly strongly one way or another. I think social media can sometimes make us feel like we have to be part of one team or the other. And sometimes it's okay to just
Yeah.
to not.
Especially being visible on social media. I found that,
Mm,
people were texting me, what do you say about this? Look, there's a debate there. I don't want to talk about that. That's not my business. I'm busy doing my things. I'm
yeah.
focusing on my lane.
Do you have any other advice that you wish you'd been given maybe earlier on in your journey?
Well, this one, yeah. Go back to basics would be my first one.
Hmm.
Be like a sponge and absorb everything. Learn from different artists. I've learned from so many. They have different style. We're so unique. What else? Price. price. See your worth and price. Good. More than 5 hours, please, accordingly. What else? What advice? Show the world who you are.
Mm.
That's my secret, let's say, for social media. Show up just how you are. People will love that. More than your skills, more than everything is your behavior. It's how you treat people. It's your energy when you're in a room connecting with the community. It's so important for me. So search for face painters in your area and collaborate. I know I've said it before, but it would be one of my advices. Yeah. And have fun. And have fun.
What's one lesson that you learned the hard way?
Let me think. Lesson that I've learned the hard way. I've said it before that nobody will do the work for me. I have to be there and stand up for myself and do the work and do the practice. Yeah, nobody will be there to save me. I don't need anybody's validation. I've learned it the hard way. Yeah.
Yeah, no, I think it's a good point. But also, no one's going to because it's like, again, going back to the self-employed thing, but no one else is going to chase down those leads. No one else is going to put those hours in on the emails. It's very rare for all work to only ever come from word of mouth. You still have to show up. You have to keep an eye out for events that are going on
Mm-hmm.
and put yourself out there. No one else is gonna do that for you. No one else is gonna promote your business like you
Yeah,
will.
yeah, exactly. So it's very important. But you see, with face painting, we have seasons. March, May, no, April, say Easter. May, it's very busy. Then the summer, we all get
Mm,
booked for parties, festivals, fairs. Then September is a little bit quiet. School starts. October gets busy with Halloween. Let's hope it gets
yeah,
busy. Maybe you book a pumpkin patch. But then what happens? Comes November. November for me was good with parties. Then comes December. I had so many years when December was so low for me. I had nothing, nothing. Just, I don't know, a Christmas fair next to the lady that does crochet, something that, it didn't work. It didn't work out for me. So it was not something that would actually pay the bills. Then that's when you kind of rely on family.
mm,
And it can be stressful. It can be stressful. If you're looking at face painting as a full-time job, what does it mean? Full-time is not the same. It's not like a general. You're working every day, 9 to 5. Yeah. Full-time means actually every month having money to pay those bills. Bills keep coming, no matter if you have an event or not, right? So what I do is I think ahead and I'm planning for that low season. So if I know January and February will be low, well, when I make those money in October, I need to think how to save up for that. You need to be organized. Again, this was learned with trial and error. I've
yeah,
been there so many months where I was like, I'm skint. I don't have anything because I'm not booked. But I was so busy. But then I had no money, because we
yeah,
spend on palettes and whatever is new and new brushes and everything. And then it's the low season where what are you doing? So I
mm,
encourage everybody to practice so well in that low season, you know, and then when you get out there and the season starts, show them what you can do and show them that you are the right person to get that event and they will book you for the next year as well.
mm,
Grab those events, grab those repeated clients. It's so important to actually have a business, not just, a hobby. I know it's so
absolutely.
easy to say, "Oh, I'm not booked. I'm just doing, weekends." Have you done anything? Have you called? Have you, done the
Yeah,
work? It's so important. It might be stressful. It's not for everybody. Delegate. Maybe your husband is better at it. Delegate. Send them with flyers. I don't know. Delegating was something very important
yeah,
that I had to do because we can't be good at everything. We can't be good at everything. Maybe you're not good with social media. Delegate. Maybe you're not good with emails. Maybe somebody can help you. Yeah, because you then can focus on what actually
yeah.
you can do.
What's next for you then and Lizzieland face painting? Have you got any exciting things in the pipeline?
I'm actually so close to a burnout right now. Because I love doing so many things. I was reading something like creative people, they don't rest, they just do another project. They just jump into another project. That's what we do. So last year, I was painting every month for a competition, Face Painter of
Mm,
the Year with MOFA. Wow, that was stressful. But it was interesting. I loved it, but it was stressful. But I got 5th place
Well done.
global, yeah. Thank you. And that was woo, another validation. I don't need it anymore, but it was good to have
That's
that.
still amazing. What an achievement.
It is, isn't it? Yeah, I was like, ooh, 5. I like that. But then I said, stop, don't do it again next year. And everybody was texting me, do it, do it, do it again. I said, no, I'm fine with 5th place.
Yeah.
It's really good. It's okay. All right. So what I want to do now, um, I'm focusing a lot on teaching because I've seen results. So I've seen people starting from absolute zero, no artistic background, going now to work and learning from going from A to B, how I say, learning the techniques, doing this as a job. Perfect. I said, I can do this. I can change lives. I want to do this more. But classes can be very expensive, right? If you have to invest now £600 in a class, in a professional class, can be too much. So I've started doing mini classes and I love it so much. So I love doing private Facebook groups. So easy for me to get everybody that's interested in a mini class. I do them for 2 weeks, recording in this room
Mm,
with all my heart, recording and teaching in easy steps so everybody can understand and everybody can achieve those amazing designs that we see everywhere. And it works. And I have my students that are very interested. I finished now the butterfly class, the creative butterflies. I feel like if you manage to understand the butterfly design, nothing can stop you. You can
mm.
adapt it to anything, to any mask, any boy design, anything. If you understand these basics, I have just a class with foundation and then boom, it's just creativity and having fun. And I always refer back to foundations. And I'm so happy with that. And they were saying, we're waiting with our card in hands for the next one. I said, well, hold up, because I have things to do. So I will do many mini classes, focused on whatever they want because I'm asking.
Mm,
That's why I'm there. It's not about me. It's not what I can do. It's about what they need and and how I can help them to achieve those. So if they struggle with one stroke, my next mini class will be one stroke. If they struggle with boys designs, that's what's coming. So on that, I'll be very busy with that on my page, on my Facebook, everything is there. But what I'm changing now is I'm going abroad. I'm going to the Netherlands. First, I'm going to compete in
I
March.
saw this on your Instagram. I was going to
You
ask you
saw it.
about this.
Yeah,
I was
I'm so
thinking you
excited.
have got something coming up.
Well, it's a challenge. I felt it. I said I'm intuitive. When I saw that, oh, it's an international competition live for 2 hours and a half. When we do those
Mm,
competition entries, they take 4 hours, they take 5 hours. Those were really good designs. I said 2 hours and a half. Ooh, that's a challenge.
that's
Let's see what
fast.
we can do.
That's fast.
But once it was in my head, and if you could see my husband's face when I just mentioned something, he knows.
That's the same as me.
It's it's so funny because I know that and I laugh because I say, oh, well, I've heard that it's a competition. And then he's like, okay, so what date is it? I need to be available to take care of the child. And so I'm going. I'm so excited about it. I've always been scared to travel, very exciting. But then I want to teach. I really wanted to teach, for example, for the UK convention, and that was not possible. So I said, if they don't give you a stage, you make your own. So that's why I'm doing all these classes. I don't need a stage. I can have my own so people can reach me very easily. But what about those people that want to learn, physical? They
Mm,
want to see, they want me to help them to hold their brush. So I will get out of my comfort zone and start traveling. And I have my first workshop end of March. So after this competition, I'm going back to the Netherlands to teach. So I'll have a festival magical workshop, speed designs that work at festivals. That's my thing that I really know how to do and how to teach. Designs that sell, that can be painted really fast, that are
mm,
effective. I want to travel more and I want to share what I have because when it's overflowing, you can share. That's when you feel that you can teach. When it's overflowing, when you have so much knowledge and you can help people. Why keep it to yourself? I'm booked, I'm overbooked, I'm busy, but then all that information can help so many people. Why not sharing it? I've done it online. I can reach many people from all over the world, but how fun it is to actually see them and meet
amazing.
them.
Absolutely.
And
Well,
I'm
good
scared to
luck.
do it, but yeah, thank you. They say do it anyway, even if you're
Yeah.
scared. So yeah.
Good for you. I mean, what a role model for your daughter as well. Look at everything that you've achieved.
She's watching,
Yeah,
honestly.
she's watching. Her mum is an international face painter, teaching internationally. Look at the life that you've created. I think
Thank
that's
you.
amazing. She's going to look at you and think, well, my mum can do anything. My mum does exactly what brings her joy and is successful at it.
And it's important because they will do that as well. Children
will
are
do that.
watching and they will fight for what they love.
You should be so proud of yourself. So proud of yourself. So where can people find you? Where can people find you? What's your social
Lizzieland,
media?
actually, my name, which can be misunderstood sometimes, is Georgiana. They call me Georgina so many times. It's okay. It's Georgiana. Then it's Eliza. That's where Lizzie came from, Eliza. And the last name is Chokan. So hard to say Chokan, but there we go.
I'll put a link in the description of the podcast when it comes out.
So that's my personal page. Yeah, just with my name. My business page is Lizzieland, and Instagram Lizzieland face painting. That's where you can find me. I'm on TikTok. I'm very easy to find.
Well, thank you so much for coming on and for all of your knowledge and experience that you've shared. There's so much there. It's going to be hopefully so useful for so many people listening, hopefully. And
thank you so much for having me. And I always say with love and glitter. That's everything I share with love and glitter. Thank you so much.
That's it for today's episode of Sponge Stories. If you found this helpful or it made you think, oh thank God it's not just me, I'd love for you to share it with another face painter who needs to hear it. Don't forget to follow or subscribe so you don't miss future episodes. There's plenty more real talk and a bit more waffle coming your way. And if you've got a story, a question, or you'd even like to come on the podcast, you can email me at hello@spongecommunity.co.uk or send us a DM over on Instagram, Sponge Stories.